How rough is it to come just short?
Well, in this game, the last 3 outs seem to be the hardest to get. And I told the guys, hey, just have good at-bats. We're down 3 runs, and don't give any at-bats away. And shoot, Jalen started off with a bang, and Junior gets on. Drew hits a blue pit, and Kevin drives Junior in, and now it's 4-3 with runners in first and second. We gave ourselves a chance to win, and we just didn't come through with the big hit. It's part of the game.
What can you say about the performance of your bullpen tonight? Because while you were able to save guys in there, like, say, Jose Mesa in there, you were able to save him and got good performances, good for guys like Travis.
Yeah, the bullpen's been great, shoot, all year long. There was a stretch, Butch and I were talking, going into Vermont. They had given up, I want to say, 1 hit in like the last 16 innings they had pitched. So the bullpen is the strength of our team. Unfortunately, we didn't get a great start out of Louis, but the bullpen came in and kept the game close, and we had a chance to win.
In particular reason Hendricks didn't lead off tonight?
Just a day off. We don't have any days off besides the All-Star break from here on out, so trying to be smart and give these guys as many off days as they can, without keeping them out of the lineup too much. So just a scheduled day off for him.
Seems like a trend as of late. The starters get off to a rough start in the first inning, and you guys got to play catch-up. It happened 3 times this week. Only victory was on Sunday. What do you assess is happening with that? Is that a trend?
It looks like walks are killing us in that first, second inning. Unable to command the strike zone. Unable to command another pitch besides a fastball. You get a bloop here and a bloop there, and now some runs are on the board, and then, like yesterday, we give up a homer in the first, and so these guys are going through a little bit of a rough patch, but that's why they get 5 days off, and they'll be back at it next time out.
You come in from a trip from Vermont late night. You come in tonight and play a game. You got to head for Hudson Valley tomorrow, then you come back here. Does this travel affect you in any way? And if it does, how you guys plan to adjust to that so it doesn't become too much of a quote-unquote hangover for them?
Yeah, this is the stuff people don't realize what these guys go through. Get in at 5:30 in the morning and have to play that night at 7. Who knows how much these guys have slept because it's daytime. And so you have to be smart with the work we do on the field pregame. Today we didn't take batting practice. Try to give them a little break, play catch up, and then hopefully tonight they get to go home and get a good night's rest and get on the bus tomorrow around 1 o'clock and head up there and have a normal day. But the travel's tough in minor league baseball. And these guys go through a lot, and the average fan has no idea what these guys go through. So it's a testament to them and their work ethic and their ability to get through adversity. It's part of it, though. It's part of learning on the job, and it's what's different about professional baseball and college baseball. It's one of the biggest things is the travel.
The hitting starter was Jay Cronenworth for the Hudson Valley Renegades, 7th round pick of the Tampa Bay Rays. He had a 2-run double last time he was here in Staten Island. What have you seen from that kid? What are your impressions of him?
Good little player. I like him. Looking at the stats, it looks like he plays shortstop too, which a guy can do that. Hit the way he does, handle the bat, run. It's a guy with some value. So I like what I see out of Jake. He's on fire right now. Been coming into the game. His last 5 games, he's hitting like 5 something, and it continued tonight. So hopefully we can keep him under wraps tomorrow, and that's a big part of their offense is him getting on base and wreaking havoc and stealing bases. So hopefully we have a better handle on that tomorrow.
You were talking about earlier on talking about giving guys days off. How hard is it, especially with this second half of the season, how hard is it to balance having guys with a hot hand with giving them days off? How hard is that for you as a manager?
It's tough. You have to try and pick your spots. That's part of my job, though, is to handle the roster accordingly and find guys, put guys in positions to succeed and maybe give a guy a day off if it's a tough matchup. So you kind of go day by day, and I keep a chart of every inning that's played this year, who played it, where they played it. So that helps. I go by that. But it's big because these guys have already played a college season. Now they're playing every day, plus the travel. That's one of my biggest jobs is to manage this roster in the right way and keep these guys fresh.
With you, having to develop these guys, do you say anything to them when it's a scheduled day off, or do they realize that it's good for them to have a day off?
I try not to say anything the day before because you never know what can happen. Maybe that night someone gets sick. Maybe that night someone goes down in the game, and that changes the plan for the next day. So I think they're smart. They can kind of see the pattern, and they know. I've probably got a day off coming up here soon, so I let it happen the day of and tell them, hey, take it easy and relax and catch your breath and be ready to go tomorrow.
And speaking of the road trip, you guys took 2 out of 3 in Vermont. Domingo Acevedo, we talked about it back on Sunday that he was starting the first game. He looked a lot better from the scouting reports and what people were telling me, throwing about 96 to 98, maintaining the velocity. What did he do differently in that start as opposed to the start that he had in Staten Island the week prior?
He had a rough first inning. Got behind some guys, walked some guys, got hit a 3-run homer. But after that, he was lights out. He's using his fastball. He tends to like to go to his changeup and his slider, and we got to remind him, hey, you throw 98, 99 miles an hour. Use that. That's a weapon. And he did, and he was able to pound the strike zone with it, and he cruised for I think 3 more innings, and have him build on that, and expect him to probably be even better his next time out. He's going to be a big piece to this team.
How do you and Butch balance the pitch selection? You mentioned that he's not been going to the fastball that much. How do you manage that pitch breakdown so he's able to utilize his strongest pitches in those spots?
Well, we have a philosophy in the organization. Guys need to use their fastball. You got to be able to pitch with your fastball. You watch their guy tonight, their starter. I mean, it was probably 90% fastball, in, out, up, down, in, out, and guys don't realize that could be 4 to 8 different pitches with one pitch. So that's first and foremost. You got to be able to use your fastball, and we have all the data every game. We keep track of every pitch, and we go back and look at it. And if a guy's not utilizing it, that's something that he's going to work on his next time out. So, like anything, we keep a lot of data on these guys, and that's some of it is fastball usage.
Going back to the pitching, Cedeno worked himself into a bit of a hole, but in the first couple of innings. But then he went on to pitch a solid 2 2/3. Gave up only 1 hit after the rough first couple. How do you think he recovered that, and what went wrong for him?
I was proud of him. You look at the first inning, he couldn't throw a strike. He was trying to use his other pitches. He didn't have a feel for him. His fastball command was hit or miss. And you probably didn't notice, but after the second inning, he threw about 90% fastballs. You guys probably didn't see it back there, but that's what Butch got him. Said, listen, you're going to use your fastball. You're not going to use your breaking ball until you get to 2 strikes. And he was able to get a feel for it, and he cruised. He gave up a hit his last batter he faced with 2 outs in the 5th, I think it was. But he did a great job. I was proud of him. I told him, hey, forget about the first 2 and build on the last 3. So he did a good job.